Gonna be real with you guys. Look, this channel's a mess, and so am I. And that's exactly why you should stay. So for like this final reaction of the day, which is it's been a random collection of reactions, definitely. What we're gonna be doing here is talking some basketball, because I love NBA basketball specifically. Like, I'm not really up and up with college and all that stuff, but I do love watching the sport of basketball, and I like playing it too, even though I'm not really, a basketball player like that. Yeah, but that's a story for another day. Anyway, we're going to get into this because this is Colin Cowherd ranking the best NBA players heading into next season. It looks like he's doing some sort of hierarchy, I guess, maybe like a pyramid type of thing or something. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, psychology, that stuff, blah, blah, whatever. But yeah, and he's going to rank where he thinks players are going into this next season. We just watched an amazing postseason where, like a storybook ending. The Milwaukee Bucks win it. It was a cool moment, even though, I'm a Knicks fan. So, like, I wanted Knicks to win it all. But,
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
I'm a Knicks fan. So, like, I wanted Knicks to win it all. But, the Bucks winning it was cool. It's nice to see somebody who worked, who never gives up, like Giannis, get a ring. That was pretty cool. Next season's gonna be completely different, though. I know they're happy they won it when they did. Yeah, healthy Brooklyn squad. Who knows who the Lakers are gonna get? Who knows who the Warriors are gonna get? It's gonna be tough next year. I could see Dame ending up in Philadelphia with Joel Embiid. There's going to be some competition. But anyway, let's see what this guy thinks about where players are ranked. And I'll give my opinion on his opinion too. Here we go.
All right, here we go, Joy. So, as of next year, all this talk about who's the best players in the league. So I thought I'd make a list. The 10 best players entering next year.
Okay, he's doing top 10.
Here we go. Okay. Number 10, Jason Tatum.
Wow.
24 years old, career highs.
I wonder who's left off.
Rebounds and points. Average.
Don't get me wrong, Tatum is great, and I think he has a very bright future. A two-way player, all that good stuff. Great size to him, all that, and he definitely will be in that top 10 conversation. I don't know that he's top 10 right now. But let's see who he left off in favor of Jason Tatum.
For a game in the playoffs, he led the NBA in fourth quarter scoring.
He's tough.
Anybody
He's
that
tough.
bristles. That's a huge stat. Jason Tatum, number 10. Number 9, Damian Lillard. Led the NBA playoffs in three-pointers, 6 a game. Was the best clutch time shooter in the playoffs.
Game's great.
So, most regard Steph Curry as a better shooter. Not in clutch numbers. In clutch time shooting, Dame is the best shooter in the
I have to agree with that. Like, Damian Lillard is probably, I got into basketball later. I think I was first watching full seasons about 2014-15. I know what happened before then, obviously, but while I've been watching basketball, Damian Lillard is probably the most clutch player that I've seen in that time frame. So, take from 2014 to now, he's the most clutch player I've seen.
In the NBA. Number 8, James Harden. I thought his ability to distribute the ball this year.
Hey, a lot of people had Harden like top 5 for the last few years, so that's kind of low for Harden. At least he's in the top 10 though. He was playing phenomenally on the Brooklyn Nets before he went down with injury. You know, it's a guy who has led the league in scoring for a bunch of years, and like he's in Brooklyn now. He's no longer the best player on his team because he's got KD there. But I think 8 might be a little low. Let's see who he has above of James Harden.
Separated him a little bit from Damian Lillard. Now, he did miss a lot of games, and he has not been the playoff guy that Dame has. He's a big body, he gets to the foul line, and his ability to distribute, which he did very well for Brooklyn this year. He was a double-digit assist guy a lot of nights, puts him at 8. Number 7. And Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets. 26
Jokic
points,
deserves
11
a spot.
rebounds, 8 assists. First MVP to play in every game since Kobe. I may have him.
I am wondering, looking at this top 10 list so far, I don't think you're going to include him in the top 6 in the league. So I feel like he left Joel Embiid out. And like, well, I do think Tatum has amazing upside. I would put Embiid in the top 10 over Tatum just based off of his sheer dominance. And like, you don't really see that at the center position these days anyway. Jokic is a little bit better because of his amazing passing ability, but like, I think JoJo deserves a spot in top 10, but he might have him here. Let's see what he says.
But he is a playmaker at center. He is a point center, and the value there is he makes everybody around him better. He's not as good on the defensive end.
So let's see. There's 6 spots left. Obviously, you're gonna have Bron, KD, Giannis. Steph's got to be in there, right? Kawhi, you have to have a spot for. And Luka? Are you leaving out AD? I can understand leaving AD out right now because, you know, he hasn't been really healthy at all. But when he's healthy, AD's also ahead of Tatum. Yeah. I don't know. Let's see who he has in these last 6 spots.
Not necessarily as offensively forceful as Embiid, but I have him at 7.
Number 6.
And I'd have Joel Embiid higher. Now, Joel Embiid bothers me in terms of injury issues, but he is
So somebody's left out of who I just mentioned. Because he did put Embiid there. And I have Jokic ahead of Embiid. Because in addition to his ability to score and get rebounds, like, let's be clear. Embiid's the most dominant at doing that. But Jokic can do it too. Like, he's a triple-double machine. Jokic's vision on the court is LeBron-esque. And, like, I'm valuing that type of player over a player like Joel Embiid. So I think that's a little off. And also, I don't know. I mean, Harden's in. And Jokic did just win MVP, but, like, Harden was an MVP and has been an MVP conversation for a while. I'm putting Harden over both these guys. It has to be LeBron, KD, and Giannis. That means did he leave off Kawhi Leonard in the top 10 players in the league? Oh man. Oh man. We gotta see the rest of them.
NBA, easy to play with, and I thought he had a fantastic year. He's not a great defender. I do worry about injuries.
Number 3.
LeBron James, 37 years old.
I mean, I'm not mad at it.
Low 45 games. Now I expect him to have a very, very good.
I still think like he's gonna come back next season and be, you know, the best player in the league. Like, I know we say that all the time, but I'd never bet against LeBron. Let's put it that way. And yeah, I expect him to take that number 1 spot, but putting him in a number 3 right here when you're talking about like compared to KD and Giannis, all right, that's fair. That's fair.
Season. He is not athletically the defensive player he once was.
True.
You can't play him as many minutes, and he is a tad bit more brittle. But I do expect LeBron to be in the MVP conversation next year again.
Number 2.
Kevin Durant's the most gifted offensive player.
Yes, he absolutely
My knock
is.
on Kevin is he gets hurt. He is a better offensive player.
That durability
than
is
anybody
a
else
big
on this
factor.
court. He is
Gotta
a
agree with it.
7-footer that is virtually unstoppable in the mid-range three-pointer. He's one of the
I'm
greatest.
guessing that's why AD is in his top 10. But how could you leave out Kawhi? Even though Kawhi has been having issues with his injuries, how could you leave out Kawhi, man? That is crazy. That is actually insane. Like, Kawhi not in your top 10? Like, he's top 5, first of all, but, like, not in your top 10. That's actually ridiculous.
Offensive players I've ever seen in my life. I would make the argument he could do more than Michael. He can do more than Kobe. He can do more than anybody I've ever seen. He's got it all. He's got every offensive tool. He's not a bad defensive player. He's not a bad passer either. But I've got to ding him because his style of game, and there's a lot of slashing and a lot of this, a lot of hitting the floor hard. That's where I have him number 2.
Number 1.
And I think the most influential player on both ends combined is Giannis. It's not the free throw shooter.
You know, I gotta agree at this point. Giannis has shown it, and he is the current champion. He's the current Finals MVP, and Giannis plays so hard on both sides of the ball.
What the hell did you just
His
say?
defense is elite, and while he's offensively, he doesn't have as deep of a bag as like KD or LeBron or Luka or Harden or even, you know, Dame, or did I say Steph too? Yeah, any of those guys, like, he is in the conversation with them because of how efficient he is at what he does, which is, you know, running and dunking, as Harden says. He can hit turnaround jumpers occasionally, and he's not afraid to shoot the threes, and, you know, we've seen him have good performances at the free throw lines at times when it matters the most. So, when you couple in the fact that he's among those players while not being the best offensive player, his defense is so good that he won Defensive Player of the Year last year, and honestly, he could have won it this year too. I mean, Rudy Gobert is a great defender and all, but, like, Giannis does it when it matters. Yeah, I think number 1 is fair for him. I think, you know, with Giannis, KD, and LeBron, you could put them in any order, really, at this point, and it would be correct. Those are the top 3 players in the NBA. But overall, we're going to look at his list one more time. He's going to put it on the screen.
But if I'm considering health, style
I'm going to tell you guys
play,
exactly what I think the
defensive
top
end,
10 should be instead.
I mean, I think even Kevin would acknowledge that Giannis can do stuff defensively nobody in the world can. There you go. There's your top 10 players.
Let's look at his top 10. All right, he has Tatum, Lillard, Harden, Jokic, Embiid, Luka, Steph, LeBron, KD, Giannis. I'm going to put together my top 10 real quick. I'll show you guys on the board who I have. Alright guys, so I'm back and I think I have my list now. You know, I was mentioning earlier that 8 was kind of a wild spot for Harden considering he's former MVP and he's been in MVP conversation, but like, looking at the guys ahead of him, it's pretty stiff competition. So 1 through 3, like I said before, it's Giannis, LeBron, and KD. As any combination of those 3 is really right in my opinion. Personally, I'd probably go Giannis number 1 right now. Number 2, I think his top 3 might be right. Giannis, then KD, then Bron. It's hard to say as a Bron fan, but yeah, I think that might be right now. Number 4 is Curry. His overall impact, like what he means to the Warriors. And he is like, obviously they always say it, the greatest shooter that's ever lived. And it's really not close. They are double and triple teaming him all the time, and he's still able to get his shot off. Yeah. Curry's number 4. Number 5, I have somebody that he omitted from the list, which is absolutely ridiculous. I understand he has problems with injuries and stuff, but like, let's not forget this man was a 2-time Finals MVP and, you know, multiple-time Defensive Player of the Year. I'm talking about Kawhi Leonard. Like, how can you not have Kawhi in a top 10 NBA players list? That's so ridiculous. This guy is just an absolute sniper in clutch situations. He had that bad postseason performance in the conference semifinals last year, but he was absolutely amazing this year before he went down with that injury. And I think you have to have Kawhi as number 5. 6 through 8, like I mentioned, I said Harden at 8 was kind of ridiculous, but looking at the list now, I don't think it's that wild. I think 6 through 8 can be any combination of Luka, Jokic, and Harden. I put them in like similar tiers of players that are really good, but I don't need somebody else with them right now. Like, they haven't proven it on the next level. Let's put it this way. Giannis, KD, Bron, Curry, and Kawhi have all won chips. And, like, that's a big deal. So, those are your top 5. Those are guys who can be the best player on the team and win a championship. And it's been proven. After that, 6 through 8, Luka, Jokic, Harden. Luka and Harden are very similar play styles. I think Luka might... he has a little bit more upside. It's hard to say he's better because we haven't seen him score like Harden on a consistent basis. Like to average, what was it, like 37 points a game, whatever. Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm going to go Luka for now. But yeah, they're very similar. Jokic, yeah, MVP, that type of thing. At 9, I have Joel Embiid. JoJo has to be in there. Defensive player of the year, almost. Should have been at least in contention for it. But yeah, he is so dominant, and Embiid at 9 I feel like makes sense. And then number 10 I put Lillard just because he is such a clutch player. Oh my gosh, and that's so crucial to have in your superstar player. He's not in that top 5 realm yet, and I don't think he's gonna win a championship in Portland, and unfortunately it looks like his time is going to be ending there shortly, but we don't know for sure at this point. So that means that I knocked Tatum out of the top 10, and I did not include AD, even though I'm still giving him mention. AD at 100% would probably knock somebody out of this top 10 list, but I feel like he hasn't been healthy enough, or shown it in the postseason enough recently for us to say that. So yeah, Tatum gets knocked out. Then the rest of the people he has in the top 10, I guess I agree with, except the fact that he didn't include Kawhi is wild. But anyway, guys, that's my opinion on this video on the NBA rankings right now, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below, comment, let me know what you thought of it, who your top 10 is. Why you think I'm wrong, why you think Colin Cowherd's wrong. He's obviously wrong, but anyway, and click that subscribe and bell button next to it so you get notified every time I post. Bye, guys.